Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I would like to share how I make Vietnamese coffee using the Phin filter. This has been one of my favorite ways to make coffee, especially if I'm just doing it by myself, and you can see that the component of this is extremely simple. It's very handy and as well as portable. So you get a couple of screen filters and a cover, and that's pretty much it. This way of making coffees is really quite, I would say, honest and pure because it's just so simple. So what I usually like to do is to measure out the coffee first, as usual. Some people just wing it with a teaspoon, and other times just because I'm used to using a scale, so I'm just going to show you the grammage. So in this case, I'm using roughly 20 grams of coffee. Some people just like to use a light one if they just want to drink it in small volumes. Typically, for a typical glass, they put around 15 grams. So from a ground perspective, it is a little coarser than espresso, but way finer than, let's say, like a pour over, for example. So just to give you a reference. And a lot of times the Robusta coffee, so these are all almost always using Robusta coffee. It gives you a very different, strong profile than the typical Arabica that you drink. So it's a very Southeast Asian coffee experience. Has a lot of body and dark chocolate flavors into it. And I usually get started with preheating this Phin filter. As you can see, practically the whole thing is made of either stainless steel or aluminum. So all I really do a lot of times is just to heat up the filter just to minimize the heat loss. I put the cap back on just to make sure the cap is also warm. Not that it matters too much, it's just that I feel that it's good to have it there. And speaking of the cap, it's one of the most underrated thing in this whole device because it does so many stuff. So what you do is you pour the ground back into the Phin filter itself, and I put it on top of the lid just so that you just shake it to distribute the coffee without the grounds falling into your cup. And after doing so, we bloom the coffee grinds. So essentially, what I like to do personally is just do a 1 to 2 ratio. So we got 20 grams of coffee in. So I'm just going to put roughly 40 grams of water into it just to wet the entire bed of coffee. It's technically not a puck per se because we're not really compressing it, but semantics. So after blooming the coffee, you usually take about 30 seconds or 40 seconds. It really depends on your grind size and the volume as usual. But for me, 30 seconds is a good time to aim for. Now we prepare the actual drink itself. So here I just have an empty glass that I used to preheat earlier. Traditionally in Southeast Asia, using sweet condensed milk is a very common way to do both the creaminess of milk as well as sweetness of the of sugar, and add as much as little as you want. You can just use sugar if you like. You can skip it if you don't like it. If you like it black, there's real no hard rule to it. In Southeast Asia, using condensed milk is pretty popular because of its shelf stability. And I just want to show you how the wet coffee bed looks like. So you put the strainer on, and then you just put the Phin filter back on top. And this little screen thing is not a tamper, so don't use it to stuff the coffee bed. You just dump it on top. It just distributes the water a little bit more evenly to the puck itself. And then now we add the water. How much water you put, you don't really need to measure it. You just fill it to the brim. So the brim of the Phin filter pretty much dictates how much coffee you're going to get out of it. For most standard Phin filters, you are putting in roughly between 60 to 80 grams of water. Again, that depends on how much coffee you put in, so you just deduct it accordingly. So the whole Phin filter thing will fill up roughly about 100 ml of liquid if there is no coffee itself, 100, 120, something like that. And you put the lid back on and just let it drip. So the difference between how the Phin filter makes coffee versus like a French press, for example, is that you use a lot less water, but it's very different from a drip or pour over is because you don't have a filter either. Comparing it to the Singapore, Malaysia style of sock filter coffee, while you're using roughly the same blend and recipe, it doesn't go through a mesh filter of some sort, resulting to a more fuller bodied coffee than those types. There's no right or wrong. It's really pure preference. I just like using the Phin filter a lot because the brewing time takes about 5 minutes on average, 5 to 7 minutes. Again, it depends on how your coffee is being ground and how much volume you're putting in. But roughly, it just doesn't rush you to finish things, right? It's not like an espresso where, oh, you have to time it 30 seconds or as finicky as a pour over in terms of the recipe. So this is like a real honest to goodness, just enjoy your coffee type thing. You can see how it looks like after you do the pour and the extraction. And this is really how much coffee you get out of it for every single coffee that you make. So it's pretty straightforward. You mix it up, you can drink it as it is. This is how most people kind of consume it, and they use a smaller glass, obviously, most of the time. But in this case, it's a bit late, so I want to have a nice cold milky drink. So I just put a big cup of ice of coffee, put roughly half a glass of fresh milk into this, and then I just pour it in. Hopefully, I don't make a big mess out of it. But yeah, so it's a very, very enjoyable, no frills drink that, in my opinion, is so underrated because it's so simple to make. The equipment itself, you can like carry it anywhere without much fuss. You can bring it to camping, you can bring it to your office, and it really does not require a lot of equipment. So I hope you like this video, and I hope to see you again soon. Overhead Recipes, Dave out.